Why do you always start the camera when I'm drinking? Oh my God. Ugh. Anyway, now I can't get the cap on.
To know the real you.
I would never sell out. I'm just saying, I would never sell out. You know, I would never sell out. Pepsi Cola. I would never sell out. But I would give you my email if you wanted to try. I'm just saying. Okay. Well, I gotta try, don't I? Shit. This is the Breakfast of Champions. Yeah, so going back to Houston to do this story has actually been important for me from kind of the beginning. Because if you've been listening, you should know that I said from the beginning, was it going to be fake? Was it going to pose? I was going to give you exactly who I am, where I come from. Not just some chick that spent an exuberant amount of money to start a new YouTube show in a studio, you know, and all that. I was going to be pretty honest and forthright. Because we all have a journey, right? We all have challenges and that we've had to meet, that we've, you know, gone through. And so a lot of this goes out to the people that understand that part of life that I call the reckoning. Because sometimes something can go wrong, terribly wrong, and we end up in places we didn't think we could be. And Houston was that place for me, you know. I didn't know anything about the gay world. I didn't understand any of this. I didn't get any of it. I didn't understand any of it. But I went there and I saw so many things. And then I met girls. I honestly did not know at the time that you could have this thing called transition. I didn't know. But I found out quick. And it started helping answer questions in myself, right? And I don't know if I've told you this before, but I am the original clinical definition as a transsexual. On the original definition that was formed and put together through science, medical basis, that's who I am. I've said before in one of the pieces that we did, I grew up on 600 acres, far removed from anything alternative, right? And finding my way there, which I don't even know how I ended up there, to be honest. I don't. I can't remember. I can't recall because my brain only let me recall certain parts of damage. Believe it or not, that is a coping mechanism that you develop when you've been through trauma. And so I can only remember certain things because that's all my brain will allow me to remember. So I can only do bits and pieces. And then sometimes it triggers other things and it lets it out. And then other things it just won't let me find them because, again, that's the protection of that coping mechanism. I remember I went to a place called Traveler's Aid. This is what I remember. I went to a place called Traveler's Aid. That's how it started for me. It was in Houston. They don't do Traveler's Aid anymore. So it was basically literally for people that were passing through, that were homeless, that were stuck. It was a lot of young people that were backpacking, you know. It was a different kind of homeless. It was more freedom thinkers, you know, just doing whatever they wanted. And yes, they went to churches and organizations such as this. It was called Traveler's Aid. It's not in Houston anymore though. They gave me money and then they put me in a hotel room in a part of town where, lo and behold, I learned new stuff. I'm in the hotel and I had it for a week and they gave me some money. I think $200, I think they gave me, and then they gave me, I think it was like a gift card or something, or a coupon. Yeah, it wasn't cards back then. It was like a coupon. You could go to this grocery store with it, and then they accepted it. And then remember, they used to be coupons, not cards. It wasn't a gift card, but you could get them from. I'm trying to explain it, but it's hard. It looks like a coupon.
Food stamps used to be.
No, it wasn't. No, they didn't give you that.
But the food stamps used to be just like that.
Yeah, they were paper. Yeah, I remember that. I had those when I was a teenager. So, anyway.
Like a voucher.
So it's like a voucher, right? And it looks like a coupon though. And so you can take it to the store and then redeem it, and because it has a number on it, how much it is. So if I remember right, it was like $20, $30. And then you take it and you can go to the store. Back then you could get like 8 bags of stuff for $30. And I did. I got to fill up my little refrigerator in my little, place I had for like this 2 weeks. And I remember the first girls that I met. They lived down the way. I was upstairs, and they were at the very end. And so they saw me, and I guess they saw in me, who I really was. And they knocked on my door and asked, if I was alone. I wanted to chat, or whatever. And I was like, sure. I was scared, but it was meeting someone that seemed really nice. I didn't know. And they invited me to their room. And that's when I found out that a Coke can has multiple uses. It has multiple uses, come to find out. Now, when I was a kid, when you had an empty can, our pop smokes, or our people that could, smoke, because I, couldn't, but, family adults, they finish off a beer and they can, you could dump the, ashes, in the can. Well, I learned you have another use for them. And so I watched, but Cousin, it wasn't my thing. So I watched, right? I've never told Cousin this story. So I watched. I'll try to explain it all to you. Some of you may know people out there like this. Okay, this is these stories. So I watched. You poke all the holes. Well, first you smash it, like it's got a dip in it. You smash it like a can. Then they poke holes in it, a bunch of them. And then you put like screen on it. And then I didn't understand. I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know what it was. Then these little crystal things they put on it. And there was only one of these girls that did it in front of me, right? There was 2 white girls and then a black girl. The black girl had already asked me, but she already figured I don't do dope, right? So she was really the quickest offender I had to the other one, because she just kept wanting to pass it around to the room, like, everybody do it because I'm doing it, you know what I mean? And so the black girl told her pretty firmly, she's young, she don't do that, leave her alone. I don't know why you're doing that in front of her. I remember that. Because I had stopped by, and so she asked her, why are you even doing that, with her here? And then she puts her mouth on the opening, the can, and then takes a lighter and runs it across the crystals. And it smelled like burning carpet, like cheap burning carpet. That's what it smelled like.
Paul Mitchell hairspray smelled like
it was like
a very distinct smell.
It was a dry smell. It's a very faint smell. It's a dry smell, but it smells like carpet's burning deep. You know what I mean? Like an ember's in there somewhere. That's what it smelled like. Okay, they didn't teach me this at home. And I had never seen anything like that. And as time went on and my time was ending in my hotel, I got it actually extended. They did it a full 2 weeks for me. And so I couldn't go to a boy shelter, right? I couldn't go to a boy. Did you hear that? I need to quit. We're trying to talk here. I couldn't go to a boy shelter. That would be dangerous. But I was also scared to try to go to a women's shelter, right? Oh, they must be playing Army today because it's over there. They must be playing Army. So they extended it another week, and I had to figure out what I was going to do. The black girl, I don't remember her name. Mom let me remember some stuff. I don't remember her name, but she hooked me onto, she was the first person to hook me onto tricks. And she's like, here's what you do. You tell them what you do, what you won't do, and then this is how much you want. Well, what do I do? I don't know what I do. What do I do? She's like, I don't know. Well, she just said it, she's like, when you fuck, what do you like to do? It's like, I don't know. Because the guys I had been with, first of all, I was, a boy, you know what I mean, at the time. And so they always led the way, kind of, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I knew what to do. I'm not saying that. But they led the way about what was kind of going to go down. And she's telling me, well, when you do, you're in charge. And so it was nighttime. The next night, it was Friday. I do remember that. She's like, if you're going to stay here, you got tonight and tomorrow to really make your money. It was just so, as a matter of fact, in her voice, like we're talking now, like just casual conversation. She's like, think about this. I remember what she said. She said, you can suck 5 dicks and make $100 and I'll keep you in your room. Or you can fuck once, twice, however much you want, and then you can stay even longer. But I'm just fucking a stranger. You meet up, you share a story about how quick, you want your money and what you don't do, and then that's it. I wasn't really into stranger thing, you know what I mean? And I wasn't on estrogen, God no, but at that time. I had begun to kind of get androgynous with my clothing and stuff, and everything. I started to get androgynous with it. But she told me it would help if I got a little bit more, put on a bra, and she gave me a bra. And then I had a shirt, and then I had a particular pair of, booty shorts. I wore those, and I tied it. I remember, I tied the little knot right here. And went out hotel, walked down to the corner. Before I could even turn the corner, because she was long gone. She had her business, she had her clients, she was gone. She's like, just don't follow me though, because you'll scare my clients. And so I didn't. I'm just standing there. And across the street, the hotel is way over here, so there's tracks that go this way, and then there was a empty lot right here, and it had a tractor trailer that was open in the back. She had told me I could use that. And so I did. I got $25. I got $25 for head because I was too scared to fuck. I was too scared. I didn't know what I was doing. I was nervous, I was a little shaky, but I got the job done, don't get me wrong. Did it a couple more times that night. I made enough actually that would keep me in my hotel another week. And I went to tell her and everything, and I wanted to show her all my money I had made, and she quickly schooled me on don't ever show your money in front of other girls. I didn't know, and so that's how it started for me. And I got deeper and deeper into it. I moved outside of town where girls like me were. That was a whole other world. And then I got kind of caught up with that night there were 2 females that night, and then another girl from our side of town, and we all ended up in the back of this limo together. And so us two, and then these girls from the other side of town, we're talking and everything. And then they're just driving, we're having a good time, we're all drinking, laughing at things that are not even funny that, guys say, and before you know it, We arrived at train tracks, and there was a cargo van. And they weren't so nice anymore. And they weren't so friendly anymore. And all of a sudden, nothing was funny. I'd been on the streets about a year and a half before I got caught up in that. And then they put us in the van with blindfolds, and they took us away. If it's okay, I'd like to stop for today, if that's okay.
Wherever you need to.
Thanks, cousin.